Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Monday Night Team Call. My name is Leah Pearson. I'm an Emerald Ambassador. Last week, we talked about in-person events, had a great call from a couple ladies sharing about that. And events are really just a powerful way to build duplication and growth in your organization. So we are going to continue that conversation tonight. But first, I've got a special guest with me. My really
Right.
good friend Justina was supposed to be sharing, and she is
Hey, man, I'm your really good friend. I'm a really good friend. Oh, yeah.
she came down sick. She's not feeling well, and she's got a really sick baby too. So she wanted to muscle through, and I said, let me see if my hubby will jump on. And he has zero preparation, but he's been taking the products
Unprepared.
for 6 years. And I'm like, you know what? We can always hear from more guys. So off the cuff, this is my husband, Ben. And can you share a little bit
Yep.
about what you love about the products, which products you take,
Yep.
results, all
Born
that?
ready.
Born
Uh,
ready.
ready to testify. Um, yeah, I just wanted to share a couple things in our lives. I've actually taken over a new position as a president and owner of a company. And so my work has changed, where it's gone from kind of physical to a little more high stress and a little more office stuff. So with that, and time constraints, we were working out fairly consistently this winter together, and that's went away. But
And he's not sleeping a whole lot, so there's that.
sleep, true. Um, but with that, I'm still I've kind of been kind of consistently taking the what's it called, the GLP-1.
When I
She's got
feed
it.
it to him, he's taking the
Yeah.
GLP-1. Tell him how many pounds you've lost.
So like down 7 pounds and probably less activity,
Yep.
um, which is good. And with all that, I do work outside still quite a bit through the winter and everything else. I do take the X Factor every morning because it's by the coffee pot, so I remember. I'm a little ADD on
That's a tip for you,
my, yeah,
for your husband. I
to
said it
remember that
there.
stuff. And I'm didn't have a single sick day all winter. I don't get sick in the winter, and I do think that helps. You can tell that
Yeah.
you're feeding yourself some good stuff.
When there was bugs going around in the office, we did the Immune Plus too.
Yep,
Yeah.
and just loaded up on that, and a bunch of people went down, but I was still standing. But that, and every night I do take the ProBio 5, which helps with some irregularity and things of that natures. And yeah, and then whenever we get into stuff, I take, like you said, the GLP-1. I've taken ease quite a bit because working on a drill rig, my shoulder feels awesome all the time. And so when I take that consistently, I do notice that like kind of my joint inflammation and pain does subside and go down. So
Hmm.
those are some really good things that I like to do. What else was gonna a
Active.
day's active? Yeah, that's a big one for the afternoon. Getting through and being on the phone, dealing with people, putting out a lot of proposals, stuff like that in the afternoon. I have a crash. I have a stash in my drawer at work, and I quite often will have a active, and it's like you can say sharp until the end of the day and not jittery. So I do like that.
Hmm.
Um, and then
Yeah.
kind of when we're working out, I was taking a lot more of the protein stuff, which I actually like. It's a very good.
Hmm.
Got a bunch of different flavors, and it's good stuff, and it's not like the cheap junk I bought when I was in college working out, where it's not chalky and stuff is. It's nice.
Fillers and
Yeah. So
all the things.
that's my testimony. Less activity, down 7 pounds. My advice would be consistent with the products that my wife says, but I'm a little ADD, so I kind of forget everything. So
And active helps with that too.
that's
So
right. So
thank you.
and we got matching shirts, so I thought it was
Didn't
cute.
even plan it.
She was wearing hers first, but
Okay.
have a great night.
He's gonna exit and shut this creaky door, and then we're gonna get into it. So, thank you for listening to that. He's great. He's the fun one out of the two of us. Okay. Tonight, like I said, we're going to talk about events. I did say I did not have a voice this morning, so I just wanted to let you know if I'm muting, I just need a second and I'll be back. Online events are amazing as a growth strategy for your business. And it's because they promote duplication. So, super important. Want to talk about this. Really, events, what they do, just kind of giving an overview here, it creates more exposure and belief within your organization. So if you want movement, you need to put events on your calendar. Like, it is such a good way to get things moving. So events matter because they serve multiple people at once. I love that. Like, you're killing two birds with one stone because you've got lots of people checking out the information. It builds belief faster for your customers because as they host events, they're also getting more educated on our awesome products, which is huge, right? And events build belief with the customers, their networks, and like I said, multiple people at once. It's great because events often create new joins and silvers. And I think an awesome thing about doing events regularly too is it gives you content and follow-up opportunities. So if you are one of those people where you're like, what do I say next to somebody? Like, if you're struggling with follow-up, if you're not hosting events regularly, that would be a great thing to start implementing so that you have another tool in your tool belt. And I really want to encourage you to make sure that you are hosting your own events. You take the reins on it. Hopefully after tonight, you feel confident in doing so. And then also, events are really, what I love about them is they're so duplicatable for your new people. So you can have a new person come in, you host an event for them, they can so easily turn around and host an event for their people too. So like I said before, that duplication of them going silver and then beyond, because they have people going silver, so they're going senior silver. That is huge. So let's talk about how to book events. If you have never hosted an event before, can you drop it in the chat and let me know? I'm just curious if you are a newbie, or if it's been more than like 2 or 3 months since you've hosted an event. I would love to hear it in the chat. Let me know. Definitely something that would be good to do, like ideally, probably weekly. Don't you think, you guys? I think that would be really good. Yeah, if it's been a while, let's do it. We're going to do it like this week. How does that sound? So I think that it's really important, like I say this week, because it is so good to front load the month with events. I did this really, really well in December. Some months go better than others, but either way, it's good to just keep asking and doing it. But ideally, what I would say, front loading the month is good because it gives you time to connect with people, work with people, get those events scheduled. And then of course, like I said, they could duplicate and schedule their own events too. It's huge. So ideally asking your customer base in the first week of the month is the best. You can ask anytime, especially like when a new person signs up. That's great. So this week, I'm giving you a challenge already. Connect with any and all joins that you've had so far in 2026, like all the way back to January people. Make a list of every single level one you have. Connect with them this week and offer an event to every single one of those people. Do you think you can do that? Let me know. I want to know. And then also, I think it would be really good if you have any leaders on your team or anybody who has shared in the past, connect with them, have them make a list of all their level ones and have them connect with everybody from 2026 as well. So every single new join, let's ask all of them if they would be willing to host an event. And I will give you some really simple verbiage. Let's not complicate it, that we can make this super simple. One thing that I will say is I've had where I go out and I'm like, all right, I'm going to ask everybody to do an event. And then sometimes people don't say yes right away. And that is totally normal. Like, that's not anything to worry about at all. If no one says yes yet, you need to host your own event this week. You do it for you this week. But front loading the month gives you time to follow up with those people on sharing and adjusting how you're talking about it and asking them again. It's important to not give up on people, but if you talk to them this week, that's going to give you time to work with them for the month of May. So that's super important. Okay, so who to ask? Who to ask? First of all, that host can be you. I just said that. You can host your own event. You can host events for your potentials as a follow-up tool. So this means that anyone that you've been talking to about Plexus can be invited into an event that you are personally running. So if you are offering to host events for other people, they're not saying yes yet, don't wait for them. You host an event for your potentials. So the host can be you, or it could be longtime customers, like not even just your people from 2026. Do you have longtime customers that have never hosted an event? It would be great to reconnect with them. Happy product users, whether, like I said, they're longtime customers or maybe they're kind of newer. Or also any new customer that's come in, that's something that you can bring up right away, and we'll talk about that. So when I say that these people can be hosts, what I mean is you are running the event for them to help them get referral bonuses. Another great person to host an event for is a new business builder. You can run an event for them to literally just launch them to start their business and start in a really, really strong way. So really, you can talk to everybody about what they have on their hands as far as earning potential, especially this month. We've got some extra cash bonuses. That's huge. So this is a great time to be talking about this. It's the first Monday of the month, so we can front load the month with these, and we got the extra cash bonuses. So that's huge. Okay. So how to ask current customers. Obviously, you want to always personalize this, but I'm going to just kind of give you a basic, like if somebody maybe had like really good results so far, you can connect on that. Hey, I know you've had great results, and then the rest of the message, or maybe that, they love helping people. Maybe financially, they need some income. Maybe there was an actual price objection that came up while you were trying to close them. It's good to keep note of those things because for retention purposes, you want to get some cash in their pocket. You don't want that to be an obstacle for them. So you can best serve them by hosting an event. So definitely personalize it, but a basic way. So connect with one of those things, but a basic way to ask them to do an event. I love saying, hey, I'm hosting 10 messenger events before May 15. Would you like a slot? There's extra cash on the table this month, over $500 if you refer 3 friends. You just invite and I take care of everything. Would this Thursday evening work for you? And I will give you all this verbiage in my recording post too. This works because you're clear. You're very clear with what you're saying to them. It's low pressure. It's like, hey, this is an opportunity for you. And then you're also just making it seem like this normal, I would say like high demand thing. Like there's 10 slots. People are doing this. Do you want a slot or not? It's also service-based. So I always think of the acronym WIIFT. That's from, was it Get Over Yourself, the book? So that stands for what's in it for them. That is something that you can always have clearly showing somebody what the benefits are for them, like while you're closing them, while you're talking to them about an event, anything, like just having that mindset of like, this is service-based, what's in it for you and how can I serve you? That's huge. So you're telling them, hey, there's over $500 on the table right now. And then the time-bound aspect of this is huge. If there is a timeline, that's really important because you're going to actually get it on the books. Like you have a deadline for them. And then of course, like, hey, does Thursday work? Like just giving them, like assuming that they want to do it. So this is for people that are already within your organization. If you're asking somebody brand new, like when they're signing up, which I highly recommend that you do, one thing that I talk to people or I say a lot when I'm on the phone signing them up is, who would you love to have do this with you? If they give you names right away, like move forward with those names, try to get in a text message with them, like try to sign those people up right away. That may or may not work. You can follow up with an event, but try to close those people. Then after that, or if they maybe don't have anyone in mind, like that they're giving you on the spot, don't stop there. You can say, what I do for most people. So that is normalizing it. What I do for most people, I use that line all the time, is I host a short 15-minute messenger event as soon as you get your products ordered. You can invite friends and family so they can learn a little bit about what you're doing because this could really help them too. And if someone joins, you get a referral bonus. Plexus gives you a cash kickback, and right now they have some awesome extra bonuses. Does Thursday work for you? Like I said, I use the phrase most people a lot because that normalizes it. It makes it like, this is what everybody's doing. This is what the next step is. And I also kind of handled the objection of like, oh, I want to get results first. Like I host this as soon as you get your products ordered, like you just put it out there. So I really like that wording. That's worked really well. It also, like when you are talking like that, you're taking the reins on the conversation, you're guiding it, and that is great customer service. If they say no, that's totally fine. You can revisit it later, such as when they report back, like good results to you, something like that. And I will say too, getting +1s and silvers is also a great customer service. People are more likely to stick around on the products and get results if they have people with them and if they have any kind of paycheck coming in. So hosting events for people That is going to help with growth in your organization. Like that's big picture, but it also helps with your retention, helps them stay on their products longer for root healing to occur. Like this is the best customer service that we can offer. Okay, it's important to ask again. So people don't always understand the first time, like what you are asking. You can totally ask them again and not feel like a broken record. I had somebody in December, I asked her, I want to say 3 or 4 times over the course of the month. And the last time I asked her, she's like, okay, so what exactly does that mean? Like, she wasn't frustrated with me. It just, I kept it as a part of conversation. And she's like, okay, yeah, let's do it once she had understanding. And then I hosted an event and it went really, really well. So, third or fourth time's the charm sometimes. But it's really good to, like I said before, revisit when they get results. Maybe like you can always just kind of layer the exposure or try to get them to share in different ways. So don't always make it just about the event, right? Like maybe they are going to get a post up, maybe they have chit chatted with a friend or something. Whatever they're doing to share, that is great. Whatever that looks like, an event is one option. And you can always take, if they did put a post up and then they had some friends interested in the post, you can grab them from that and then you can host an event. Like it's just kind of this ebb and flow. It doesn't have to be rigid. So if you are revisiting it, just keeping it really simple and saying, hey, I'm booking events this week. Do you want to grab a spot on Thursday? I know I've mentioned it before. If you have 3 people, you get over $500 this month. Just leaving it at that. So normalize it, keep it a part of conversation. Don't overcomplicate the process. It's ideal to try to get, like after somebody joins, to get an event on the schedule within 72 hours of them signing up. I think that that is huge. Give them a simple invite that they can tweak and send out. It doesn't have to be this lengthy copy paste script. I'll give you an example in a minute. And then I think one thing that I've maybe not done a great job of in the past, and I'd like to implement more, is offering options of how you're going to format the event. I think messenger chats are like one of the easiest things to do, but if you can determine where their people hang out, you're probably going to get a better attendance rate. So you can determine this by saying, hey, most people do a messenger chat, a quick Zoom, or a group on Facebook. What do you think your friends would respond to best? This should help with a better turnout. So if you take time to do this, I think that's going to be huge for you. And I would say messenger chats are definitely most common, but I think it's worth an ask, like I said, for attendance. In order to run an event, there's many options in our Facebook group. The group, if you're not aware of it, it's called Inspire Wholeness Event Templates. And there are all kinds of resources in there, all kinds of themed events, all sorts of things. So you're just going to have to go check that out. If it's a messenger event that you picked, what you're going to do is create a messenger chat a couple days before the event starts. So you need to pick a day and a time that you're going to host it. And then you're going to ask your host to send a message out, something similar to this. Hi, Kelly, I was thinking of you today because you mentioned wanting more energy and feeling better overall. I've been using Plexus and it's helped me so much. So my friend Leah is doing a quick info event tomorrow night in Messenger. I think this could be a really good fit for what you've been looking for, and I'd love to have you as a guest. Can I add you to the event? And it is huge to make sure that they're asking permission before just adding somebody into an event. That increases trust and also engagement. So set up a day and a time for when the event is, Thursday at 7 p.m. or whatever. Once the chat is open, have them start sending out those invites. And then if somebody says yes, they can add them into the chat. And then once the chat is open and people start to get added, I think it's really good to try to build the energy in the chat even before things start. And so don't just let it sit dead. Try to have some engagement. And you can do this by welcoming people in, have your host say hi, and maybe even give a short intro as far as why they started Plexus, anything like that. Connect in the chat by just saying something simple like, hey, everybody, how do you know so-and-so? Like if you're hosting it for someone. And this just warms the room, which I really think creates higher conversions. Another key that I would highly recommend is to make sure that you are setting up 3-way chats before the party starts. This is something that I just started implementing and it has been so much better. So before the event, create individual 3-way chats with all of the invited guests. So say I'm hosting for Sally. So it's me, it's Sally, and then one of Sally's friends that she has in that group. So just 3-way chats. Have your host create those chats and literally just give them a super simple script. Hey, Valerie, this is my friend Leah who is running the event tonight at 7. Just wanted to introduce you. Like, keep it super simple. And then when they're joining that event, they're feeling seen, welcomed, connected already, which is huge. Connection is something that builds trust, and trust is what leads to signups. And it's totally okay if they don't say anything in that chat, but the chat is open and established. I used to do it where after the event was done, I'd tell the host, okay, like open up chats with everybody so we can talk with them. So excited, and sometimes it just would take too long, or there'd be a lag, or the host would be like, I'm going to bed, or, whatever, or the other people went to bed. So it's just good to have that connection while the information is fresh, or even before they get the information. If they do reply, you can connect on their health goals and kind of get some preliminary chatter going if you want. So yeah, overall with messenger chats, add people, try to warm up the chat, use content from that Inspire Wholeness template group. One thing that I think is really good is to use polls and engagement paired with the templates that are available. So I like to put a poll in there for a giveaway right away. Something about health goals to open it up, like mark all that apply for a chance to win our famous pink, like a sample of our famous pink drink. And then I'll be like, autoimmune issues, digestion, like what applies to you as far as like health goes. And I'll make multiple things that they can check there. So try to keep it simple, short and sweet, maybe 15 minutes, something like that. During the party, you're going to share simple posts, like 10 to 15 minutes worth, depending on how much content you have. And then always with all events, make sure that you're creating urgency at the close of the event. So depending on what promotions are available, you can tack something extra on. Like if you order by, set a time frame for it, by tomorrow night, you'll get 10% off and free shipping. So just kind of sweetening the deal and setting a time frame. And then following up, make sure that you get in those three-way chats that you already have established. And I think it's good to say something like, hey, that was fun. I hope you were able to follow along. If you missed it, you can always scroll up to the top. I'm curious what you saw in there that you think would personally help you the most. More energy, weight loss, overall gut health. Tailor it depending on how the conversation has been. Maybe you've already talked about health goals, but try to always ask a question. So some good questions are, what stood out to you the most? What did you love about the event? What questions do you have? And then, of course, are you ready to get started? So always try to ask questions. If you want to do a Facebook group, I don't know if there's anyone that does that anymore. Let me know in the chat. I have kind of steered away from those and done more messenger events just because I felt like people were not getting the notifications in the Facebook groups. If you want information on that, there's a great video in the Inspire Wholeness template group that I think Jen Converse did if you want to try that. And a lot of the behind the scenes stuff that I just shared, same thing that you would do, it's just in a Facebook group instead, and you schedule the posts. So very similar. If you wanted to do a Zoom format, I would highly recommend, like if that makes you feel kind of nervous, it might be good to just do it if it feels scary. But it would be good to get some ideas on how to format it. So just watch some YouTubes of some other people that have done it. I think it's always helpful to hear how other people explain it. It's going to help build your confidence, but a basic outline, if you could get a feel for who's attending, like opening up those three-way chats and getting some information as far as their health goals and stuff like that, and have some background, you can tailor your health story or the testimonies that you share according to who's in the group. I think that that's always huge. And then so a simple format, like open with a brief version of your story, connecting with them somehow, maybe have your host share as well. And then just do a quick overview on, big blood sugar imbalance, inflammation, gut health, and or the GLP-1, kind of depending on what they're needing. Talk about root healing. Just find similar content that's found in like one of our send, share, invite videos, like our triplex video or our GLP-1 video. Just you can copy information from that and just write it down, and that's your script. You don't have to be nervous about doing it. Just watch some videos and replicate what you hear. And then as always, at the end, create urgency. If you order by tomorrow night, you'll get 10% off and free shipping or whatever, and then follow that similar format for how to connect with people. Another thing that you can do in Zoom is a virtual sip and share. This one takes a little bit of planning because what you're essentially doing is sending out samples to people ahead of time. So you send out the samples, you mix up the drink on Zoom together while you give a brief explanation as far as, Plexus goes, share testimony. This one takes a little bit more planning because you need to send out those samples with ample time so that they get them. So keep it simple, just maybe a stick or two of pink drink, probably 7 to 10 days ahead of time. You're going to need to invite, collect addresses, confirm guests. A week before I'd mailed the samples, and then 2 or 3 days before, make sure you follow up that they got their samples. Day of, send a reminder. Like I think any event that you do, it's good to send a reminder and try to not make it information overload. I think this one is a little bit more casual and like conversational. And then, of course, you can open it for questions if you want. Personally, connect with everyone afterwards, kind of like what I said. But this is a really good interactive option that I think lowers walls and creates exposure and connection. Another quick one that I wanted to mention is a virtual scroll, which is something that Amber Miller has been training on recently and has had really good success with. It's in Facebook Messenger. Kind of like the messenger events that we talked about. How it's different though is all the info is already in the chat, and then you can add people in at any time. So there's not like a set time that everybody's coming to like watch it at 7 o'clock or whatever. So it's kind of almost like a mini online catalog where you can learn more without having to attend at a specific time, which can be hard for some people. I don't have time to get into the detail, like all the details of how this works. And I have not successfully implemented this myself, but I can see where it could be really good. And I'm intrigued by it. She's got a great training on it that I will include with my recording too when I put it up. But this is something that you could add people into anytime, and then they can simply add their people as well, which I think is great. There's no chatter. It's just a scroll read only chat. But it works especially well if you have, I don't know, maybe a busy person and you have a hard time like nailing down a time to do it. So I would say though, with that, I will caution you, that's definitely something that needs to be monitored. So if they add someone in, you need to be in touch with them and help them with those connections and conversations. So it's not hands off, you still need to be present. In closing, okay, so ask multiple people this week, make a list of your level ones from 2026 this week, because this is the first week of the month. Even if you've asked them before, revisit it, and also have all of your workers ask every single one of those people to host an event. Book at least one event by Wednesday this week. That is my challenge to you. And if none of your customers say yes, then you get to host an event for your potentials. That is what you're going to do. And then hopefully next week you can have a couple people that you host events for. And then, like I said, you don't have to try every single format. I know I threw a lot at you, but maybe ask your friend essentially like where their people hang out, where they would most likely attend an event. Maybe it's Facebook Messenger, maybe it's a group text, maybe they do want to get on Zoom. It doesn't matter. Your job is to connect with their network and get them information on Plexus and serve them well. So events are simple, I would say, once you get the hang of them, and definitely worth the time because, like I said, you're killing two birds with one stone, essentially. You're educating your customer, you are serving multiple people at once, and they're super duplicatable. So hopefully you utilize this and implement it ASAP. And I'm going to work on getting some events scheduled this week too. So that's all I have for you guys. Thank you so much.